Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, Virgos, let's go ahead and take a little peek. Virgos, what do we have for the person on Virgo's mind? We've got a 10 of Cups in the reverse, the Hanged Man sideways. They're not having a good time. They're not at all. In fact, something is stalled out in their life, and it's stalled out in kind of an epic way, where that 10 of Cups being in the reverse with Piscean energy, Hanged Man sideways, it's like they've been in this stagnated energy. What is this about? Why are they in stagnated energy? Knight of Cups, upright, Ace of Cups, upright. This is a very different Knight of Cups because he carries this, or she in this case, carries this flower and it's bleeding. And I always think of this as somebody who's like, oh man, I'm really unhappy. I've been really unhappy for maybe a really long time. There's the desire to come forward and offer a cup of love, but seemingly they don't know if they can. Why the Hanged Man? Why is the Hanged Man here? 10 of Wands. Is it too late? Is there, 10 of Wands is like the energy of like, I need to get beyond something. I need to lay down burdens, guilt, fear, shame, remorse. But we see this person riding forward on a white horse with, as an archer. We got some strong Sag energy coming in here. It feels like they worry that it's too late to tell Virgo. Or let me ask that for sure. What do you want to do in regards to Virgo? Let's just ask that. The Lovers. Okay, so it is definitely that they want to love Virgo. And I want to say love Virgo again. Why would you think it might be too late? Why would you think that it's over? Page of Swords. They've been spying on Virgo, and I guess they may think that for Virgo's gone a different direction. Virgo's living their best life. I'm sorry I have to cover this card up. She's got no clothing on, but she's covered in dragon tattoos. And I just wonder if they feel like, Virgo is well out of my reach, well out of my league. Virgo is someplace far, far away from me. I've been spying, and it looks like Virgo's really, really happy without me. Why are you not with Virgo right now, though? Like, why were you ever apart from Virgo? The Fool. I don't know if they made a foolish leap, if they left Virgo, if they went in a different direction. We got two dragons swirling around them. We have all these butterflies. There is this big transformative energy around them because keep in mind, here they are as like, a kind of like a butterfly creature in their chrysalis. I almost feel like this is somebody who met Virgo at the wrong time. And now they feel like it's too late, maybe. Magician and the Two of Pentacles. I think they were looking for money. They were trying to manifest money more so than a relationship when they met Virgo. Why do they stay on Virgo's mind? Why does Virgo keep thinking about this person, though? Why is it that Virgo remembers them? Five of Pentacles, because this is somebody that I think Virgo felt out in the cold over. Why did Virgo feel out in the cold? Eight of Swords in the reverse. Virgo's like, because I had to let him go. I couldn't get stuck on this. If they let me go, or I knew that I had to let them go, and it's a bummer because it's not what I wanted to have happen. We've got the King of Cups, we got the Four of Cups, and we got the Five of Cups. It feels like Virgo's like, I knew that we had something real. I even knew they actually really cared about me, but what a damn shame. What a disappointment. This is sad. This is, at least the way Virgo looks at it. It's like, thing is, I think the hand of the divine was like, Virgo, you've been protected, whether or not you know it. But I do feel like we got an awful lot of fives here. And we got disappointing cards, but we have this streak of real affection, real love. I feel like Virgo and this person shared like a really wonderful emotional bond, but then either they didn't hang on to Virgo, and it's like it was really sad because I know that they actually had a real love for me, but this is still for whatever reason it wasn't right. For whatever reason, it's a damn shame. Why does Virgo think that this person did show real love? With that King of Cups. Five of Wands, Inspiration of Pentacles. It's almost like Virgo knew that this person had a bunch of conflict in their life. that they had a family that was possibly super demanding. There could have been big conflict. They could have also been somebody that Virgo was like, why don't you just turn over a new leaf and just be with me? Why don't you love me, but you want to stay fighting with your family? I don't know why you couldn't just, write a new story with me in it. It feels like Virgo kind of had compassion for them to a certain extent. It's like they need to change some stuff in their life. I know that they care about me. They looked right at me, but God, this person, for a flicker of a moment, they thought they could change your life and they could just be with me. And then it's like, that didn't happen. And that's why it's a damn shame. They thought about it. I'm wondering if this person even said like, I'm going to move to be with you. Or I think Virgo knew that this person had a lot of conflict. And it does feel like it was with their wolf pack. So it was with their family. But they, for a flicker of a moment, they thought maybe they could just come into Virgo's world and write a new life story. And Virgo wanted that too. You know what? Now I understand why, though, we have that Four of Cups card where the hand of the divine said, Virgo, no. Virgo, you should not have had that person in your life. You don't know. They would have brought a nightmare into your world, Virgo. They had a lot of toxicity. And if Virgo had invited them in, like, hey, why don't you? I mean, I know you care about me. I know actually we have a really strong bond here. Like, why don't you just leave behind the things that are not going well and come to me? This says that would have been super toxic. They would have brought their problems, their dirty laundry into Virgo's world. It's so sweet though. Virgo's like, yeah, but that's what you do. You take somebody as they are. Four of Wands. Like, they wanted to marry me. I wanted to marry them. I think whatever was wrong in their world, and maybe this was not that they had like a lust for money. Maybe this is that they owed somebody a lot of money. Maybe they could not have joined Virgo the way even they wanted to. I do think there was a sincere, we see it here. This person still, they deeply desire Virgo, always have. Virgo is the one that they wish that they were with. They are miserable without Virgo, but they also think maybe it's too late. Maybe Virgo's happy without me. They, for whatever reason, the things that they had to change in their life, I think took way longer than expected. I feel like they worry that even though they still love Virgo, I don't think the love was ever in question here. I think Virgo knows this person loved them, and I think this person genuinely loved Virgo. But they had something that they had to deal with that I think had to do with money. Can we look at that again? If they owed somebody money, actually, let's go with this deck. If they owed somebody money, that would have been their issue to, dig themselves out of that hole to a certain extent, right? Knight of Swords. See, they thought maybe I can run away. Maybe I can go toward Virgo. And in fact, look at the mountain there. The mountains are obstacles, and they had an obstacle course. It would have been like maybe they could have slipped away and gone toward Virgo. They wanted to. They met Virgo, and it was like, oh my God, all I want is to be with Virgo. And instead, recognizing that meant then you need to tidy up your life properly. There is no quick way to do this. I think they had a legal battle. They could have gotten dragged into a legal battle. They really needed to, I think they were either indebted to more than one person. Look, it became really clear that because they met Virgo, because they wanted to go toward Virgo, and maybe they even did start putting things into action. They thought they could slip away, they could disappear and go be with Virgo. I don't know if that got found out and it was like, whoa, now guess what? You're definitely not going to be able to be with Virgo. And instead you got to deal with the legalities of everything and, close it down one chapter at a time. They may have almost done something a little bit like that, just flared somebody's anger toward them. That wolf pack, somebody got pissed. I don't know if they were trying to like leave their mess behind because they met Virgo and it's like, God, I could turn over a new page with you. I just want to write a new story with you. Yes, but unfortunately, their old story would have come along with them. And in fact, did. I kind of think that they attempted to build with Virgo. They, with that King of Cups, this is that they looked right in Virgo's eyes and were like, oh my God, you're my future. You're my love. You're the person for me. I don't think any of that was untrue. Although I can see that, this was really sad for Virgo that, wow, this person didn't come toward me. They didn't do all the things that they said they were going to. But remember, the hand of the divine is here to protect Virgo, saying, you don't know, Virgo, you don't realize what kind of mess they had. Virgo didn't know that this person had They pissed off somebody for sure, but they also maybe had legal issues. We have Libra, we have Scorpio here as well. We had Aries for them. We had Gemini for them. We had Pisces for them. We had Virgo Gemini for them. They look, I don't think that they've ever not loved Virgo. I do think that they made a big mess in trying to see if they could just escape and come to Virgo's world. And instead it backfired. And it was like, now instead I actually have to let go of Virgo completely. I can't even attempt to keep things going with Virgo because I just got myself into so much hot water. Like they tried to jump into the future that they wanted without cleaning up the present life that they actually had. What was the Justice card? Was it like Five of Cups? Look, somebody wanted to make their life miserable and succeeded. Somebody, I don't know if they did something unfair, unjust, said something cruel that was untrue about them, but it says that it completely sabotaged their ability to go jump into Virgo's world. And they are left standing here with this map looking totally dejected. It's like they became a prisoner in this mansion. It's like somebody either held something like over them and said, oh, you think you're leaving? Well, let me go ahead and make your life real miserable instead. Let me go ahead and, I don't know, maybe they made somebody mad and, it was like, oh, well, we've been partners, but we've also been business partners. So let me go ahead and things that I wouldn't have had a problem with, guess what? Now I'm going to, because I realize you want to move on to this Virgo. You want to change your whole life. I mean, this could be a family member who's like, guess what? You're not getting to go start a new life. I'm going to go ahead and call in every debt you ever owed me, take you to, whatever petty court claim, that house that I whatever underwrote, or the fact that family lived together or something. It's like, guess what, you owe me back rent for 8 months or 8 years, or something went horribly awry. But it definitely looks like this person suddenly either didn't have a place to live, didn't have money, and then had money that they owed. Everything became about money. Everything in their life, somebody got big mad at them and called in like every debt there ever was and said, you got to pay this, you got to do this, you got to do that. I don't think that this person had a choice. I think this is what they had to deal with. I think this is what they had to focus on. With that High Priestess, it was the only way to actually bring their life back into good balance. Here's negative imbalance. Here's good balance, where we have that quartz crystal that is high vibrational and things are where they should be. This is a hot mess where nothing is what it should be. So we definitely see them in an energy flow of, I need stuff to be different. I need to get my life straightened out. At this point, have you straightened it out then? Have you straightened it out? I mean, we can see that these two loved each other. I really loved each other. Six of Cups, Ace of Cups. This says yes. They have finally, I don't know how long this took. My feeling is quite a while that they have not been in Virgo's world because of the, like a volcanic explosion that took place in their life after, they attempted to kind of gravitate toward Virgo and instead got reeled back, more powerfully than they could have ever dreamed, reeled right back into, oh no, you're not going anywhere. You owe debts, you owe money, you're staying right here, bub. That energy that surrounded them and enveloped them, that energy has finally, I think, been resolved. I think they've paid things off. That's why we start out with them saying, I'm freaking miserable, because I'm also more worried than ever that it's too late. I've spied on Virgo and I think Virgo's really happy without me, but God, I'd give anything to still be with Virgo. They could be a lot older than Virgo. They could have gray hair at this point. You see the length of the hair. That's why I keep thinking this has been a long time. I mean, I think probably months, if not years. But at this point, with the Six of Cups and the Ace of Cups, that love that they had for Virgo, I mean, that continues to overflow. That continues to feel like Virgo's a soulmate. Virgo's a soulmate I want to return to. Virgo's a person that I could finally, I don't have a whole lot maybe to my name, but I could I could be with Virgo and I could certainly give him all my heart. Come on, character, just go do it. For goodness sakes. Are you going to go give Virgo what you've got? Because Virgo felt like this was a damn shame all this time also. 3 of Pentacles. They're saying, I'm going to try, but I'm sure Virgo's already with somebody else. I'm sure Virgo has connected to somebody else that they've probably been building a life with. Why do you think that? 10 of Cups and Judgment card. And they're like, because, I mean, look, there've been a lot of things that went wrong in my life. And I'm just picturing I'm going to probably reach out to Virgo only to discover that they're in a happily ever after. For some reason, they don't know for sure, but they're just expecting the worst case scenario. And it's going to be really hard for them to see. They already have done some spying and imagine Virgo looks really, really happy. But now they're thinking, yeah, but Virgo's probably like married to somebody. I mean, I don't know. I keep trying to spy and I can't tell. I'm going to have to try to go talk to Virgo, but I'm sure that they're Virgo's with somebody else. They're probably living with somebody. They're probably having a great life. And this is really foolish, but I guess I got to go and face finding this out too. You know, why did you not just tell Virgo all this time that you had a mess that you had to clean up instead of leaving this, you know, kind of a big old mess? 4 of Wands, Knight of Wands. There's something here where they didn't want Virgo to think that they were a player or that they weren't ready to offer Virgo enough. They were like, I have to offer Virgo everything, marriage, the whole 9 yards. I can't act like I just get to give Virgo a little bit. They'll think I'm a player. So, I mean, it still doesn't make sense, though, that they made the decision to basically say, there's nothing I can do. I'm staying away from Virgo. Well, I have to clean up this mess that I've got. Well, I love Virgo, but I have to just focus on, I mean, they may have worked very, very hard and only focused on trying to get the money to pay themselves out of debt to get themselves free. But at this point, in this story, this says that they've done it. And although they think it's ridiculous for them to approach Virgo, they think all they're going to get is some more, you know, like it's going to hurt their heart to see how happy Virgo is and it's not with them. They're like, but somehow the divine tells me I have to do this anyway. Like, I got to know, I got to try, you know, with that Judgment. It's like, maybe I at least want to say I'm sorry to Virgo that, you know, everything was a mess, that I couldn't have offered Virgo what I wanted to, just so I can set something right. There's something like they think that they're walking into the storm to go face Virgo. They really think it's too late, but it's like they got to see Virgo one more time, because it's like they want to tell Virgo, I felt like I was made for you, but, you know, I'm glad that you're happy and you've moved on and stuff. I'm sure that your life's a lot better. That Star card upright, I'm sure that you've healed a whole bunch. You know, I'm sure that I hope that you're, you know, getting everything you want. You deserve that happiness kind of energy. It's like, this is what they expect. And they kind of expect Virgo's just going to ignore them and walk off. I don't see that at all, by the way. Let me, instead of going with that deck anymore, let's change, because I feel like we should say, does Virgo want to hear from this person then? 5 of Swords. Virgo's mad. Virgo's carried anger, actually. 3 of Wands. They're like, I'm always going to be mad at this person. Okay. 7 of Swords. They lied to me. This could also be Virgo lying to themselves a little bit, though. Virgo is, I think this is how Virgo's protected their heart, is to actually, you know, say, they lied. They lied. They blocked me out of their life. There's no way around that. 5 of Wands. You blocked me out of your life so that you could keep lying to me. And I think that's how it'll always be. And yet we have the Judgment card. Look, this is a tough one. This is a tough story, because Virgo actually still wants this person to fix things and heal things with them, but Virgo's hurt and angry still in this storyline. And yet I think it's because there's a lot of love. Do we have one final potential outcome here? Because honestly, I still kind of think that this could be healed. 10 of Wands in the reverse. There's a lot to talk about, and there's a lot of healing that would have to happen. A lot of hurt here. Knight of Wands, because I think Virgo has been convinced, nope, they were just a cheater. They were just a liar. They were just a player. They played with my heart. And all I want is to move on from them and not feel sad anymore about this. I just don't think that that's really what the story is. That's just the story that Virgo's going to find out that's not what the story was. these two have got to have some serious heart-to-heart conversation. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.